This is a fully sandboxed AI command center running in my house. 3 voice and touch controlled agents completely isolated from my home network. And getting here nearly broke me and both of these machines. NemoClaw is NVIDIA's new security layer for OpenClaw. Every setup video that you've seen so far on YouTube basically show them running on cloud servers or VPSs. I tried it on a Raspberry Pi and the ZimaBoard 2, which I recently reviewed. Neither one went smoothly, and nobody shows you that because not a lot of people are actually running this on real hardware that me and you will use. I got it working anyways in the end, but let me show you what happened. So quick context if you're just joining. OpenClaw runs with your permissions. It reads your files, it runs terminal commands, it accesses your network. That's the whole point. That is kind of what makes it useful. But earlier this year, researchers found over 1,000 malicious kills on CloudHub, the official marketplace for OpenClaw skills. One coordinated campaign alone uploaded over 300 fake tools that were quietly stealing API keys and browser credentials, where visiting one bad web page could give someone full control of your OpenClaw instance. This is called prompt injection, wherein someone maliciously tried to inject a wrong intent prompt to your agent and thereby doing some wrong things such as extracting your personal information. If you're running OpenClaw on a Pi on your home network, and I know a lot of you are because I made a tutorial on that, that Pi can see your NAS, it can see your smart home devices, it can see everything in that local network. A compromised agent isn't just a problem for that one particular machine anymore. NemoClaw is NVIDIA's answer. It's a security sandbox around OpenClaw, which is completely open source. It launched roughly 2 weeks ago and it's still in alpha. I wanted to see if I can actually work on a hardware I own. So I tried it first on the Pi and then on the ZimaBoard 2. OpenClaw is your employee, it does the work, talks to your AI models, runs all the tools. It's like an agent orchestrator with its own personality. And OpenShell is the secure office that employees work inside. Isolated containers. The employee can't leave, can't touch the files outside, can't make calls unless they're on the approved list. NemoClaw is the building management system. It constructs the office, it sets access rules, and logs every decision. Same employee, same work, but now there is a badge reader on every door. What does that give you? File system isolation. The agent can only write to 2 folders. Network policies, where every outbound connection has to be whitelisted, and a privacy router that strips your data before it leaves the sandbox. Finally, there's also an audit trail of everything that you've done. It sounds great on paper, but let's see how it goes on a Pi. Here is my Raspberry Pi 8 gigs of RAM NVMe SSD, the same Pi running on my OpenClaw mission control from my second last video. NemoClaw needs Docker, a container runtime called K3s. That's a lightweight Kubernetes, and the OpenShell gateway in order to work. All of that has to run alongside your OpenClaw agent. So let's give it a shot. Problem 1. Docker install script doesn't work on Raspberry and Trixie. It misconfigures the repo looking for a package source that doesn't exist. I had to manually add Debian's Docker repo instead. Problem 2. IP tables is completely gone. Trixie removed it entirely, replaced it with NF tables. But Docker and K3s both need IP tables. So I had to manually download 3 .deb packages from Debian's archive and force install them on the Pi. Problem 3, the sneaky one. The Pi's firmware disables the cgroup memory controller. NemoClaw runs Kubernetes inside Docker, and Kubernetes needs cgroup memory support. Without it, K3s won't start. I had to edit the boot config and the cgroup flags on a single line. not a new line, the same line, and then reboot it. like a hard reboot. After all of this, Docker works, iptable works, cgroups is enabled, NemoClaw onboard actually starts, and then problem 4 and 5 hits together. The sandbox image plus Docker layer fills up the disk. 3S detects a disk pressure and starts evicting the pods, but it's trying to evict its own system pod, the core DNS, the metric server, the local path provisioner, etc. It can't kill them, so it tries again every 10 seconds and it gets stuck in this loop forever. You could partially get away with this problem by using a larger file system or a memory card, but by the time I was trying that, I actually had got rid of the NVMe SSD and put in a 28 GB micro SD card, which was completely failing. So basically it's a eviction death spiral where Kubernetes is trying to fix a problem by killing the only thing that keeps it alive. I just feel that this is too much for this kind of hardware. NemoClaw runs a full Kubernetes cluster inside Docker. The Pi doesn't have the headroom, and it isn't something you can hack around. Maybe you could try with a larger SD card, but I really doubt. If you saw my previous video, you know that this is the ZimaBoard 2 with the Intel N150, 16 gigs of RAM, 16 terabytes of NVMe storage, running ZimaOS with my NAS and some Docker containers. 16 gigs is double of what NVIDIA recommends. It has proper x86 hardware, and this should be straightforward, but it wasn't. So here's what happened. ZimaOS doesn't work like a normal Linux box. It runs on an immutable root file system, meaning you can't write to the usual places. The default user home directory is mapped to the -data directory, which is owned by root. So the NemoClaw installer cannot write where it actually needs to. Running as a root doesn't fix it either, because ZimaOS logs down root as a read-only file system. The installer tries to set up Node.js, and it's just to write the files to the right directory. I've got around this by creating a dedicated workspace on the data partition and writing a script that remaps the home directory for my sessions only. Kind of a hack, but hey, it kind of works. Okay, NemoClaw CLI installs, I run NemoClaw onboard, it immediately fails the pre-flight check telling that port 8080 is in use. It turns out that ZimaOS's own dashboard, that is the web interface that you run, actually lives on that port. And NemoClaw's OpenShell gateway also needs port 8080. This port is kind of hard-coded into the compiled binary, so you cannot change it just the way as is. So I had to go into ZimaOS's gateway config and move the dashboard to a different port, free up port 8080 for NemoClaw. But even with that port genuinely free, the pre-flight checks were still failing, as there was a bug in NemoClaw's validation script. It kind of misreads the system MD sockets through the lsof commands and thinks that the port is still occupied even though it isn't. I bypassed this by putting a dummy lsof binary in the path that just returns, well, nothing. The binary told the validator there's nothing here, trust me. I know that's the kind of thing you do at 2 a.m. when you've been debugging for 3 hours and you just need it to work. After that, OpenShell initialized, the sandbox built, and the gateway came up healthy. One more thing worth noting, because of the kernel level isolation, any files you want the agent to work with would have to be manually copied into the sandbox workspace. It can just reach out and grab stuff from your file system. That's the whole point. But it's also a workflow change that you need to plan for. So that's NemoClaw running on my local hardware in my house, no cloud setup, no server. But it took a real work to get here. This wasn't just a typical 15-minute setup. This was literally a worth of half a day's debugging. And this is the OpenClaw mission control from my last video. 3 agents, Jansky, Nova, Orbit, working in a pixel art animated style office and the crap kind of status of the agents, and you can touch and speak to them, is the stuff that I showed you in my last to last video. But here what's going on is NemoClaw is basically running on my ZimaBoard 2, but I'm accessing through the secure shell the agent on my Raspberry Pi. It's kind of a duo, kind of way more secure than the original video where OpenClaw was running locally on the Pi. I want to be straight with you. This is still a very much an alpha software. It launched 2 weeks ago, and setting up this on any other rather than a vanilla Ubuntu server is a bit of a fight and a pain in the ass. On the Pi, it's a dead end. The hardware can't handle it unless you buy a 16 gig version with a really big micro SD card. If you're someone who is comfortable breaking through those kinds of walls and you know who you are, this is probably worth trying. The sandbox is well designed. The policies also make sense, and the TUI gives you kind of the visibility and security layer while working with the OpenClaw agent. If you're learning how agents work, I don't think I would recommend this kind of a setup. You're better off installing it in a clean, secure Raspberry Pi with just OpenClaw. But of course, be cognizant of the kind of access you provided. Want me to do a walkthrough of the NemoClaw network policies and how to whitelist services like Telegram, Discord, and the whole policy file thing? Just let me know down in the comments, and there's actually a lot more to dig into, but I just didn't want to make a long video just for the sake of it, unless any of you are actually interested. Thanks for watching till now. Consider subscribing to the channel if you enjoyed what you saw, and I will catch you guys in the next one really soon. Until then, just let's keep building.